Okay, today we're going to talk about standard form of a linear equation. We've talked about slope-intercept, and we've talked about point-slope. So this is our third form of linear equations. So the standard form of a line is in the form ax plus by equals c. There are a couple of requirements for standard form. The first one is that a, b, and c are all integers, which means no fractions or decimals are allowed. So I will show you how to clear those out when we get to it. And the second requirement is a has to be positive. We're going to go through a couple examples here. So let's do these together. So we're moving them to this format. So all we have to do is move these around so they look like this. Okay. So with this one, I'm going to subtract 8x from both sides. So we get negative 8x plus 2y equals 1. So that breaks one of our requirements, one of the rules. We got to get rid of that negative a. So I'm going to divide everything by negative 1, switching all of the signs throughout the entire equation. Now we're done. Follow all the rules. So this one is a little weird. These are all a little atypical. I'm going to subtract 5x from both sides. So I'm going to move this over here. Negative 7x plus 3y equals 0. Again, I'm breaking that negative a rule. So I'm going to switch all the signs by dividing by negative 1. This one, even though there is no y, it is already in standard form. Okay, so this is one of those slashy fractions, which I can't stand, but we need to get rid of the fraction. So we're going to do that by multiplying by the denominator. So now I'm left with x. I have to multiply the 3 times the y, that's 3y, equals 0. So then the fraction's gone, no negative a, and we're in the right order. So the next one is decimals. We can't have those either because they're really the same thing as fractions. So let's put this in the right order first. I'll rewrite. I'm going to move the 3, which is the constant, or your c, over to the other side. Now I'm going to bring my y over. I don't know why I did that. Bring it over here. So now I have 2x, 2 tenths x plus 7 tenths y equals 3. Now to clear those or move the decimals over, you're really multiplying by 10. So now I'm going to have 2x plus 7y equals 30. So you're moving the decimal over, but you're really multiplying. So you have to multiply all of them by that same power of 10. Okay, the last one like this, we're just going to get rid of that decimal. You have no x. That's okay. So we're going to have 2y equals 30. And we're done. Okay, so that's just a matter of moving things around to get to the ax plus by equals c with no negative a's and no fractions or decimals. All right, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to use x and y to graph, x and y intercepts to graph linear equations. So we're going to be using the equation, and to get the x-intercept, we're going to replace the y-coordinate with 0. And to get the y-intercept, we're going to replace the x-coordinate with 0. So we're graphing with only 2 points, the x and y-intercept. So first, let's get the y-intercept. We're going to replace y with 0 and solve. So we're going to divide by negative 3 here. So my y-intercept is negative 2, or the point 0, negative 2. So we're going to plot that right there. Okay, now to get the x-intercept, we are replacing the y coordinate was 0 in the equation. So now I have 2x equals 6. I'm going to divide by 2. So my x-intercept is 3, or the point 3, 0. So now I can just graph and connect those 2 points. Okay? All right, let's try another one. Let's get our x-intercept by replacing y with 0. So I have negative 5x equals 10. I'm going to divide by negative 5, so x is negative 2. It'll be over here, or the point negative 2, 0. To get my y-intercept, I replace my x coordinate with 0. So I end up with, this is a plus, sorry. I end up with y equals 10. Really quick way to graph. Okay, one more. You can leave the equation just like this. You don't have to move it around. So I'm going to replace my x with 0 to get the y-intercept. I'm going to subtract 8 from each side. And then I'm going to divide by negative 2. So my y-intercept is 4, which is the point 0, 4. Now I'm going to replace the y-coordinate with 0. And I have x equals 8, which is the point 8, 0. There's my line. All right, moving on along. Okay, I just wanted to review these. After the last quiz, I wanted to make sure that we understood these, the equations for a vertical and a horizontal line. So as you can see in the first one, the equation is x equals 6, and it's kind of opposite of what you would think, because the line is really the same, going the same direction as the y, but what that x equals 5 is telling you is that the x coordinate of every single point is always 5. The same for horizontal line. If you took any point on that line, the y coordinate would always be 5. So your equation for a horizontal line is always y equals something. In this case, it's y equals 5. So I just wanted to review that with you. All right, so we're going to go back to writing equations again. And this is writing them when you get 2 points. So you can either go back to using slope-intercept or point-slope form to do this. And I'm going to show you how to do that. Okay, so the first thing you always need to do is find the slope using the slope formula or the wine glass formula. Okay, so now I have 5 minus 4 over 1 minus 0. That gives me a slope of 1. And I'm going to use slope-intercept form here because that 0, 4 is already my y-intercept. So if I put this into slope-intercept form, slope is 1, and my y-intercept is 4. So there I'm already in a format. Okay, so now all I need to do is move it around so it looks like this. So I'm going to subtract x from both sides. So I have negative x plus y equals 4. Can't have a negative a, so I got to divide by negative 1, changing all of my signs, and we're done. So I would say if you are given the y-intercept like this, I would use slope-intercept form. If we look at the next one, we're going to find the slope again. This time we're not given the y-intercept, so we're going to try it with point-slope form. So I have 13 minus 5 over negative 2 minus 2, which will give me 8 over negative 4. And my slope is negative 2. Okay? So now I'm going to pick one of the points. I'm going to use the one without the negative sign. And I'm going to put it into point-slope form. So I use the first point and I put it into slope-intercept form. Now let's simplify that. We're going to distribute Negative 2 times x is negative 2. Negative 2 times negative 2 is positive 4. And we're just going to move this around to get to this. And I just need to bring that x over to the other side, and look, it's even positive. And we're done. So just choose the form that you're going to use to get here wisely. Okie dokie. All right. The last part that we have here is using standard form to organize information. So this says I can get 20 Jolly Ranchers for $12 and 300 mini Tootsie Pops for $15. I have $120 to spend on candy. What linear equation can I write in standard form to represent how many of each I can buy with 120? Okay, so what I'm going to do for this one is I'm just going to find a unit rate. So if you have $12 and you are getting 200 Jolly Ranchers, that's about 6 cents per Jolly Rancher. If you spend $15 and you get 300 mini Tootsie Rolls, that is about 5 cents per Tootsie Roll. The Jolly Ranchers are more expensive. So your equation is simply like this. 6 cents times, let's let x equal the Jolly Ranchers, and let y equal Tootsie Pops. So 6 cents times some unknown number of Jolly Ranchers, and if you add to that 5 cents times some number of Tootsie Pops, and you have $120 to spend, that's in standard form, and that's going to give you all the different combinations of Jolly Ranchers and Tootsie Pops you can buy while spending $120. That's it.